and welcome back, everybody. I'm Tom, and the simulcast is on the air now from CBS Radio and Television. It is Thursday night, December 21st, 1995. Clive Barker, the horror motion picture director and writer, is with us tonight. He's been here before, always very entertaining. And my friend Tom McComas, and tonight we travel down memory lane for the toy trains of Christmas. I look forward to this every year because they have brought me joy since I'm a little kid. I'll tell you a funny story about me and Lionel trains. They're all electric trains, really. The first one I received from Santa Claus was in 1941. And my father, who was Santa Claus, went out and bought two of these train sets, one for me and one for my cousin, Mike Regan. And so, you know, my father and his brother-in-law would play Santa at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I later learned how much fun this was. I opened up a Lionel train set one year, and there were 8 pieces of straight track in the box. It's awful tough to make them go when you have 8 at 2 o'clock in the morning and you got half a load on. Let's face it, a full load. So anyway, they went over to my cousin's house, and they set up his set of trains, and it ran perfectly. And they came back and they set up my set of trains. As my father told me later, the engine began to smoke, and this was long before smoke was a feature on electric trains. It just blew up right there on the floor. And I've been smitten by them and confounded by them ever since. Did you know that in 1953, the Lionel Corporation made 622,000 locomotives? They made 2.4 million cars, all in 1 year. They were not the only manufacturer. There was, of course, American Flyer. There was Ives until the mid-1930s, and, of course, the trains made by Louis Marks, Marks Toys, which were sold in the dime stores, you know, Woolworths and Kresge's. They were cheaper, bottom-of-the-line sets, but they were cute, and they exist as great collectibles even to this very day. The newest trend in toy trains are these, furnished to us tonight by the people at Allied Model Trains in Culver City, California. They are large-scale trains, and this one is outfitted for Christmas. Let her rip. Pretty neat, huh? I especially, of course, you know the accessory that I'm batty for on this particular train set would be the water tower, except that the water tower has the incorrect name on it. Water tower says Season's Greetings. Water tower ought to say Tom Snyder. Water tower coming up on your screen any second now. Magic of TV. That's a good looking one, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Put it in the car. All the goodies came in today from the staff, you know, the baskets and stuff. So following tonight's show, we have an annual ceremony here at the Colorcast. It's called the loading of the car. Clive, oh, by the way, wasn't it great last night when we leveled Sister Teresa? Oh, yeah. Huh? Wasn't that good? Tonight we're going to nail Santa Claus. Clive Barker is here tonight to talk about mystery and what scares people, and Tom McComas, who produces train videos of great toy train layouts across America, joins us for some good old-fashioned Christmas fun. Fire up a Colortini, watch the pictures and the choo-choos as they fly through the air, and thanks for watching, everybody.
Here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. He's got bags filled with toys for the boys and girls again. Hear those sleigh bells jingle, jangle, jump in bed, cover up your head, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight.
Although Clive Barker may be best known for his series of Hellraiser horror films, his work in novels, art, and in other motion pictures could best be described as extremely imaginative fiction. His latest work is a collection of 3 plays. It is called Incarnations, now in the bookstores. It's always a pleasure to see you on our stage, and thanks for coming in the week before Christmas. The last time you were here, I said, could we start talking about your life as a kid on Penny Lane and your days at the Quarry Bank School?
Where John Lennon went.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I was pretty much followed by accident Lennon's track through my infant school, Dovedale, and then Quarry Bank, and then I was going to go to Liverpool Art School, and then my mother and father decided I need to do something serious.
And when you went through the school, was he far enough along in his career that people would say this is where John Lennon went to school? Yeah,
it was a big deal.
You all had to live him down, in other words.
What year would this be? I was born in '52, so this would be in the mid-'60s. And by that time, they were a big deal. So, yes, in fact, when I went to, I think maybe I told you this, my desk had John Lennon carved into it
Oh,
when I
that's
went
right,
to Quarry
yeah.
Bank, and then I discovered everybody's desk had John Lennon carved into it.
Yeah, right. And, like, did you have choo-choo trains as a kid?
We
As a boy?
had choo-choo trains. I was checking, actually, with your next guest as to whether choo-choo trains was a acceptable vocabulary. He told me it was. So, yes, we did have choo-choo trains. My dad was is still a huge enthusiast. And I just love to, stage the wrecks.
Well, we did too. My brother and I, we'd take these locomotives, and put one at each end of the track and turn the power on full and bang.
That was what it was all about. And it would take 2 hours to set up, and then you'd have 30 seconds orgasmic pleasure when the things hit one another.
Yeah.
So I was too young for orgasms. But
Whenever I hear the term Liverpool, like all the great liners sailed from Liverpool. In New York, they were embarking for Liverpool.
Sure.
It has a romance to it. Is it that kind of a place to live, romantic?
It didn't seem so. It seems now, with hindsight, I'm looking back at it. It's a great place to have come from. My godfather was a ship's captain. And so one of the things that he would do, he would take me down to the river. This is when I'm maybe 5 or 6. And he would point out all the ships. And he would say, this one's going to Rio de Janeiro. This is going to, Johannesburg.
Oh, it's wonderful. You can visualize, when they get to the destination.
Sure. And these were, faraway places with strange-sounding names. They had an immense romance to me. And now I look back and see Liverpool through the eyes of Americans very often, and see a place which has definitely a kind of romance to it. A friend of mine, this is fun, a friend of mine who had been traveling around England, an American friend, and he'd seen, I don't know, Westminster Cathedral, he'd seen York, he'd seen Glastonbury, he'd seen all the great places. Came to see me, and we went up from London to Liverpool so that I could show him the town. And we went down to the Mersey, and as we approached the Mersey, which is a very undistinguished river, it's gray and brown and mucky.
Industrial type river,
right,
sludge.
Right, exactly. He wept. And I said, here's another Tom, actually, and I said, Tom, are you so moved by this? He said, yes. He said, don't tell anybody, he said, but forget all the cathedrals. This is the River Mersey. This is, ferry across the Mersey. This is a part of my childhood. And I think that Liverpool does exercise that kind of almost poetic hold on people's imaginations.
As do the Beatles.
As do the Beatles.
When you think about the Beatles, they are one of the few groups and or individuals who, with their music, can connect us all to a moment in the history of our lives.
Or many moments, because there are so many great songs.
True.
Yeah.
You could certainly put Sinatra in that group. In my country, I would put Judy Garland in that group, for those of us who are old enough to recall. And
I'd actually put Ella Fitzgerald there, too.
True, and the Grateful Dead. That when you hear this music, you say, I remember when that came out, and it comes back to you.
And I was feeling these feelings, and I was in love with this person, or I was out of love with this person, or whatever it was. Has immense hold on our imagination.
Did you see the ABC documentary?
I did, of course. And I surprised myself with how engaged I was with it. I didn't expect to be so emotionally engaged with it. And it is, it's certainly part of, particularly the early portions of the shows, which were about Liverpool when I was a kid. They were very involving and very moving for me. Later on, it becomes moving for a bunch of other reasons,
You wonder if we would all be as touched and all be as moved if John Lennon had not been shot.
No, I see that. On the other hand, what you just said is also true, that if Lennon were alive, it wouldn't change the power that these songs have got.
But the mystique might not be as shadowy as it is.
Maybe. I mean,
because we'll always wonder, if Lennon had lived, would there have been a reunion one more time? Because there was a lot of talk about that in the 70s in New York. Oh, they're going to do one or two more. And if he had lived, would there be one more record, one more appearance?
Well, then you get to this whole thing about, well, what would we think about Monroe? What would we think about James Dean if they were alive? Whether the best thing you can do for your legendary status is to die young.
Unfortunately, it's true. I'm never going to be a legend, come to think of it. I lived too damn long. There's still time for you.
Well, I don't know.
God, no, I'm kidding.
Tick, tick, tick. But it's certainly true that that the expectation of what the life would have given if it had not been cut off short does change the way that you look at these people. Marilyn Monroe wouldn't have, I mean, just last night on television there were more revelations about Marilyn Monroe. How many years is it since this?
A long time.
What is it, late 50s she died?
1960... 62, 63, so it's been more than 30 years, and there are still new revelations.
Yes.
Powerful stuff,
We
by the
don't
way.
really believe they're revelations, but what is interesting is
but
that
Eyewitness News does. You see.
Sure, there you go. But it still holds us, and it wouldn't hold us if she were alive. And now, what would she be in her 60s, or would she be in her 60s? Yes, of course she would.
Yeah, mid-60s. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you here about, after a commercial, about the power that you have as a storyteller.
Sure.
You know, people who tell stories are in high demand and always have been since the days of Dickens and beyond. We're with Clive Barker. The newest book is called Incarnations, 3 of his better plays. The phone is up and running at 800-952-2788. We'll be right back after these messages.
I'm Lee Oliver.
We're with Clive Barker, and here's Dan on the toll-free in Flint, Michigan. Hello, and Merry Christmas.
Hi.
Hi.
Great show, Tom.
Thank you.
Mr. Barker, I have a question
Dan.
for you. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
I was wondering, what sort of things scare you? What do you find really, really scary?
Man, you took that. This is my closing question, but it's okay.
Dan's there for
What is the scariest thing you've ever seen in film? The scariest thing you can imagine happening to you? It's a great question.
In movies, I still go back to things like, I would go back to The Exorcist, to Alien, the first Alien picture.
Right.
I was a great fan. I'm a great fan of the Hammer movies, which were done in my home country back in the 50s and the 60s. I don't know whether they're very scary when you look back on them, but
I found the first Halloween movie to be the scariest movie I'd ever seen in my entire life.
You know what? Guys with knives in their hands scare me for a different reason. There's scares which touch your imagination. There are scares which you know are essentially fantastical in nature.
Right.
And then there are scares which are really just about bodily harm being done to you. And that's a sort of different thing. I'm not very interested in psycho movies, with the exception of the first Psycho.
Okay.
I like my imagination to be stimulated in some way or other. And
for example, the Hitchcock technique, where you did not see Janet Leigh being stabbed.
But you almost did.
But you almost did, but you didn't, you know?
Yeah.
And the other part that was great with Hitchcock and others who do his kind of thing.
Sure.
And now here's that word I love, genre.
Yes. A good word. A good word.
Where we know that if Cary Grant goes through the door, he's going to get hell.
Right.
But he doesn't. Hitch always let us know where the danger was.
Sure.
But kept the characters in the screen.
But I want to go one step further in terms of the imaginative stuff, and I want to say I want these movies, these kind of movies, these kind of stories to expand my imaginative horizon somehow or other.
Okay.
I don't want them to just be about the person who's behind the door with the kitchen knife, because that happens. I don't want it to be about something which can happen in the real world. I want it to be something that happens here, because for me, stories are, the power of stories lies in the way that they open doors for us, open doors and windows for us.
True. And Dan, what scares you? Well, you mentioned Halloween was the scariest one you ever saw.
Nighttime. Halloween is a particular scary time. I don't know why it is, but
yeah, kids go out and beg for candy, for heaven's sake.
And sometimes
things
get
like that. So,
what about books, Dan? Do you read horror books?
I find some Stephen King scary. Actually, the horror books that I found scary by him could be like his short stories. I find really interesting.
Right.
One in particular was named Apt Pupil.
Yeah, sure. A great story.
That was unbelievable, and I wish somebody would do that in a movie, because that was.
I think they're going to do it, Dan.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
That would be unbelievable.
Say, Dan, let me change the focus here for a second. We had Michael Moore here last week, you know, who did the Roger and Me film on Flint. How is everything in Flint? How are conditions there, the economy?
Actually, things are really looking up here a lot better.
That's great.
It's a good feeling in the city now. It's a lot different, and I know we have had a negative image for a long time, but hopefully that will change. Definitely, hopefully that will change.
It was the lady with the rabbit did it, Dan.
Oh, remember,
geez.
oh, geez, remember that? In Roger and Me, she's got the live rabbit. She gives it a bonk and skins it right there. Oh, man.
Whoa.
I don't want to go there. Dan,
You're scared by Halloween, Dan. Jeez.
Dan,
now I have more to think about.
Dan, many thanks and a happy holiday season to
Thanks
you, sir.
to you, both of you.
Thanks,
All
Dan.
right, all right,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye. When you talk about horror, and you talk about wanting to have your mind opened by the possibility of something that does not take place in real life, but something that you could imagine if presented properly, how true to that image do the original Bela Lugosi Dracula films come?
Oh, not at all,
No?
I think. I think the great charm of, well, one of the things about movies is that they date. And
Yeah.
part of the problem is it's very difficult to grasp what the initial impact of those things must have been like. I mean, there are reports of people passing out in the
That's right.
in the
That's right.
aisles when
That's right.
Lugosi appeared, and the same
Well, we
with
put the
Karloff.
fangs into the...
Sure, it's difficult for us to now see how that works.
And it also depends upon where you are. I remember one night in the late 70s or 80s, Channel 13 in New York had a festival of Bela Lugosi Dracula films. And I was in my home in New York, and it was well after midnight, and it was a rainy, thundery, lightning night.
Right.
And I'm there in my bedroom with the lights turned down and a drink in my hand watching this Bela Lugosi fly, and I'm cowering. I'm scared, and the lightning is, you know, ripping at the shutters of the house there on 54th. I thought, man, this is scary stuff. Or probably if you watch it in the afternoon, it wouldn't be that scary.
Well, right, yeah. I think the other thing is vampires. We've seen vampires a lot. I mean, part of it is the law of diminishing returns. How many times you can see a guy with fangs in his mouth? You know, I guess Mel Brooks is about to give us
They've just about exhausted the possibility of scaring people.
Well, I think it's tough.
Yeah.
I think it's really tough.
Anyway, you're a storyteller, and it was you or somebody who drew the analogy that if you're a Boy Scout and you can't pitch a tent, but you can tell a story in the tent at night that commands the attention of the troop, you have power.
I think that was me, or if it wasn't me, I stole it from somebody.
That's okay. It's a good analogy.
That's okay. Yeah. Yes.
I made it mine for a second.
It's yours. It's yours. Well, that's part of what stories are about, is actually the passing on of a narrative, of an idea, of an image, of a set of characters, of a situation
Sure.
to other people. A story should be a gift. A story should be something that belongs to you for the time that you're writing it down or you're putting it on the screen, but then you give to somebody else and you say, it doesn't come with a series of instructions. The only instruction should really be, take this and do with it what you will, because I think that stories, the same story means many different things.
And if you're doing a story about something of horror, it shouldn't be spoof. It should be true to itself, be serious to its
I take this stuff
purpose.
very seriously. I
know you
take
do.
the idea of using my imagination and passing it on, whether it be horror or fantasy or science fiction, whatever, or to children. I write for children as well. I take that business extremely seriously because it seems to me the power of the story lies in not only the sophistication, but also the sincerity with which it's passed along.
Sure.
And my tongue is nowhere near my cheek when I tell these kind of tales. They have to move me, they have to scare me, they have to excite me, they have to arouse me, they have to do all that stuff to me.
Bring you in. They got to pull you in.
I'm just finishing up on a book now, and I've been writing for a year, a little over a year. It's 7 days a week. I go to my desk every morning at 8 or 8:30, and I'm there. And if I wasn't with you now, I'd be there writing it.
Right.
In order to do that, in order to enter that drama, the lives of these people that I'm writing about, I have to feel it very deeply. And strange today, because I'm out of a rhythm being here.
I'm terribly sorry.
No, don't worry. No. It's actually very, very good, because it's a very grim part of the book right now. But it's strange. It's like waking from a trance. I knew the car was coming to pick me up to bring me here.
You almost have to pull yourself.
It was truly that. It was truly that. And I was sitting in front of my, I don't have a word processor or a typewriter. It's all handwritten. I'm sitting there with my pen and my pad, and I'm thinking, I have to get out of this place
Gotta leave
where
this
I am
place,
now. I'm in Yorkshire. I'm writing about Yorkshire. I'm writing about Yorkshire in midsummer. And
listen, I'm writing about a commercial at 3 past the hour.
It's all yours.
Okay, let me do. Clive Barker is the guest. Incarnations, the book, back after these messages. We're with Clive Barker. Here's Tim on the toll-free in Bowmanville, Ontario. Hello, welcome to our show on CBS.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Tim.
Love the show.
Thanks.
I will watch it all the time.
Thanks.
And to Clive Barker, I'm a big fan.
Thanks, Tim.
And I got to say, yours is the only work that's ever really, truly scared me.
That's nice to know.
Particularly the movies.
I was going to say on the screen as opposed to the page.
Particularly the movies.
Yeah.
Although I'm still trying to muddle my way through your books.
Muddle away, Tim. Muddle away.
What a backhanded compliment. I'm just trying to grind my way through this thing.
Oh boy.
I was just wondering, you've always been known for your really wild imagination, and I was just wondering if when you begin to work on something, if it starts with just the seed of a true fact,
right,
like a headline in a paper or just some kind of current event, if it just starts with something like that.
I don't know where the stories really begin. Some of them seem to take years to get to the page or to the screen.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
like songwriters, they have it in the trunk, but they really don't know quite what to do with it. And then all of a sudden, bang!
You haven't got the hook for it.
Yeah.
You don't quite know how it fits. And sometimes it's about having 2 or 3 things going on, Tim. I mean, it's about having something somebody told you, some idea you've had at the back of your head, and suddenly they gel. I'm about to sign a contract with my publishers, which will take me through to the year 2003. You know, it's a long-term contract.
This is a long-term
contract. But, you know, the books that I will write under that contract are already somewhere in my head. At least the pieces are, and what I need to do. And I think this is something that's, again, the nature of stories. That you need something which is universal, something which is going to make sense to everybody.
Which touches everybody.
Right, but you also need something that's very personal.
That's not, it's tough, I'll grant you, but not so tough as one might think, because we all do walk in the same shoes. I think if we push the right buttons, we can scare everybody, make everybody laugh, make everybody cry.
I agree. I think the question is how you make these universals personal. How do I make a story which is going to make sense to you, Tom, and to Tim when he's got through the book?
Yeah,
you know,
when he's through muddling through the one that you've got.
Tim. How I make a story which makes universal sense, but also gets me excited on a personal level, where I can tell some personal truth. The purpose of writing is not just to push the buttons.
Right.
Because if we just push the buttons, then it's very obvious which buttons.
Right, you're manipulating, of course.
You're manipulating, and then it's about dying dogs and, you know, and widows. I mean, you know, that we know what those buttons are. The issue is, can I, within this entertainment, which is a book or a movie, say something which is very personal to me? Can I talk about, for instance, in the book I'm doing, my belief system? Can I talk about what
Can you communicate that to your readers?
And I'm hoping, obviously, that my particular quirk, my particular twists, what makes my belief system unique to me, will be of interest to other people, so that they'll say, you know what, Barker's got a take on it.
Let me ask you something, because let me tell you what those of us who do what I do here, we, you know, communicate through electronics.
Sure.
Oftentimes in the presentation of guests or our own belief system, we're trying to say to our audiences, would you open your mind for a second?
Yeah.
Would you just consider the possibility of that, and then let it go? And you probably do that in your novels, too.
Though, right. I mean, in a way, we were talking before about stories as gifts. They're particularly on the page, and this is what makes work on the page particularly potent for me, is that you're actually inviting people to join you in the act of creation. That is to say, you read Moby Dick, I read Moby Dick, we both essentially read different books. What's happened in our heads is unique to us, and that's why I asked him to continue to muddle through with the books, because finally the books are more important than the movies. This is the wrong town to be saying that, I know.
Certainly is.
But
totally agreed.
Oh, thank you. Tim, you're still there?
Yes, he is.
Good man.
Yeah.
Here are we taking your name in vain, and you're still there. The books are more important because there's a sense in which a reader is a co-creator, in which a reader comes with you on an adventure.
And brings the prism of his own perception to what you have written.
Casts the movie in his own head, as it were.
Tim, I'm glad you called. Thank you for turning us on, young man.
All right, happy holidays to you both.
Happy holidays to you, sir. Thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.
You know, I remember reading 1984, the first time, Orwell's piece, where they would take you to room 101. And they would always say, what's in room 101? They would say,
And it was something very personal.
The thing that you fear most is waiting for you
Sure.
there.
But, you know, let's look on the bright side. Let's look at what the things we hope for the most. Let's also look at the things which will transform us, that will make us feel as though life is worth living.
And I'll tell you what, the next time you come back in 1996, we'll start the things that make your life worth living.
It's a deal.
As it relates to writing literature that is sometimes horrifying.
I like that.
All right. Thank you, young man. Merry Christmas to you and Happy New Year, and thanks for being a pal this year.
Thanks.
We appreciate it. Clive Barker is the guest. The book is called Incarnations. Back with Tom McComas and Electric Trains after these messages.
Girls, yeah. And what I did to kind of spice things up is when I was home alone, I would go up in my father's room and look for his lighter fluid. And I remember he'd hid it in the sock drawer, and I would root around, and it was a red and yellow tin can, blue and yellow tin can with a red spout. I think it was either Zippo or Dunhill. And I would go down in the train room.
Couldn't be just Ronson, it'd be Zippo.
Well, Zippo. And I would spray a line across the track. And then I would douse the train in lighter fluid. And then turn all the lights off, light the line of fire, and whoosh, a burst of fire would go up.
Yeah.
Then I'd run the train through the line of fire, and the entire train would burst into flames. And it was just marvelous, my own special Fireball Express. And you know, I'm telling this, and the collectors out in the audience are...
No, the 7- and 8-year-old kids are out there, too.
No, they're asleep.
Oh, no, they're not.
and I did this, you know, well, actually, if you ever ignited lighter fluid, and I'm sure you have,
it explodes.
You know that it burns quickly, evaporates, maybe 10, 12 seconds it blazes, and then it settles down. But I did this quite often, and the engine was die-cast metal. It just got blacker. But the cars were plastic, and they kind of got misshapen and distorted. Yeah. And then, as irony would have it, 30, 35 years later, I'm doing all these trains, videos and books about toy trains, and I'm doing a story in San Diego, and the guy has a magnificent setup, big layout in the middle of the room, and trains all over the shelves on the walls. And when we get all done with the shoot...
Who is this, Sefton?
I think so. He brings me into his living room, and he says, Tom, I would like to show you how it all got started. This is the first train set my dad gave me when he was 5 years old. And there it is in pristine condition under glass. And then he asked me, did you have a train set when you were a kid? And I look at his, like the day it was born, and I think of my distorted, blackened, twisted, burnt-out hulks that used to be my train set, and I said, no, I never did have a train set. but let me add one thing.
You know, if you can get some of this funny stuff into the videos, you know.
I want to add one thing to that. That was a youthful indiscretion, and I have since taken a 12-step respect for toy train program, and I haven't set fire to a toy train in, 35, 40 years.
Fabulous. What happened to toy trains? They went away for a while, like in about 1965, 66. Well, the 60s. Trains were big in the 50s, but not in the 60s. Where'd they go? What happened?
Well,
slot cars?
Fads. Trains come and go. Toys come and go. And I think the enduring quality of trains and the reason they have survived for 100 years, Lionel will be celebrating its 100th anniversary in the year 2000, is because, number one, of the quality. You can't get away from the fact that the trains were very well built. And also, they're fun to play with, so they'll come and go, but they always come back.
Yeah, and American Flyer, they're still produced by Lionel Trains.
They're produced by Lionel.
Marx?
Marx is, there's a new Marx Corporation producing trains outside of Chicago, and they're just started about a year ago, and they're producing, they just had their first catalog, and they're back in business.
Anyway, we've got some of your videos, and I want to get as much action as we can here to show people what can be done with imagination. Do these need your narration, or are these self?
Well, we'll look at the monitor.
All right, okay. The first one is called Elaborate Layout. So roll that, and Tom, you'll take us through this, okay?
This is these are two layouts designed by Broadway set designer Clark Dunham. One is in Des Moines, Iowa. The other is in Williamsburg, Virginia. This is American Railroads on Parade. His layouts feature elaborate backdrops.
Oh, my goodness.
This is Dick Kuhn's car rail layout in Detroit. And I think it's the biggest pre-war layout ever built. It's 1,500 square feet. He was the former owner of Lionel Trains. He still retains part of ownership. This is a layout in Pennsylvania, a copy of the Horseshoe Curve in Altoona, the Phil Klopp's layout. This is Stan Roy, the man who owns the world record for simultaneous train operation. I think he runs 36 trains at one time.
Oh, geez. Everybody seems to have a different area of interest, either beauty or run the most trains at one time, or have the most beautiful original standard gauge equipment. What's this?
This is the Lionel Visitors Center in Chesterfield, Michigan. And this is an example of a beautiful American Flyer layout. It's in Seattle, Washington, and Mike Coliseus built layout. These layouts are like, I mean, they take a lot of work, and they're like works of art.
You know the thing that strikes me, because I have a little layout at home, nothing as elaborate as this, but I finished off my attic to have a place to run my trains. Maintenance is a key operation here. I mean, track has to be clean, the motors have to be lubricated, wheels have to be oiled. There's a lot of maintenance and meticulous care involved with these things. They don't just keep running forever with no maintenance,
But that's part of the enjoyment, tinkering with the trains, oiling them, maintaining them.
No, that's not part of the enjoyment. Not when your eyesight starts to go. And black locomotives with black screws, and you can't. The second one, and then we'll do the break, is called the Hall of Fame. So these are what, famous electric trains?
Right, these are trains that have collector items from starting with the 20s, I believe. That's a Lionel State set made in 1929. There were two versions, one brown and one green.
Big, huh?
Big, standard gauge. All these are standard gauge. Before the war, homes were big, so trains were big. This is the Blue Comet. Some people think that's the most beautiful train ever built. Two-tone blue. The cars were amazing. They were 21 inches long. There was detail on the inside, swivel seats. This is the American Flyer Mayflower, chrome-plated, also made in 1929.
And we're looking here at 20s and 30s technology.
Right.
Wow.
A lot of hand. This is some people consider this the best mass-produced scale model ever built. It's the 1937 scale Hudson. And the GG1, a model of the Pennsylvania
Railroad,
designed by Lowy.
Wasn't he the guy that designed the Coca-Cola bar?
Yeah. And this is the best-selling train ever made. It's the Santa Fe Lionel F3. And
the technology, though, of the State sets and the Blue Comets made in the 30s the 20s and the 30s. I mean, they were really ahead of their time in many ways in terms of mass-produced quality and mass-produced attention to detail. It's unbelievable what they had.
Compared to other toys of the time, they definitely were.
Which is why they've lasted. They're still around.
Exactly.
We'll continue with Tom McComas. One of his videos is called The Lionel Christmas. The toll-free is up and running, but I suspect we'd rather look at the choo-choos. We'll see what happens right after these messages.
Hey, now Santa comes and he brings his Christmas magic. Choo-choo toys give everyone such joy. I am dreaming of a Lionel Christmas. I'm beaming, it's a Lionel Christmas. There ain't no way I'm gonna sleep tonight, and I hope Santa gets my address right.
Would you like to be a rider on a Lionel train with me? Hey, Tom Snyder, would you like to be a rider traveling around that Christmas tree? Streaking across that countryside, all aboard, everybody for a thrilling ride. Be on time for a front row seat. I get ready for fun that can't be beat.
Desecrating fine Lionel equipment to put our logo on it. What the hell's the matter with you?
When, in recognition of your long-standing enthusiastic and affection and support of Lionel trains, when the folks at Lionel found out I was going to be on your show again, they made this special train up just for you, one of a kind, and they want me to present it to you.
Wow.
It consists of their flagship locomotive, the Chesapeake and Ohio Streamline Hudson.
Oh, my goodness.
And this one-of-a-kind Chesapeake and Ohio observation car that is complete with the Late Late Show graphics, your signature,
oh my heavens,
and your picture in almost every window.
Oh my goodness.
So there it is.
That is wonderful.
And I know you'll enjoy it.
I certainly will, and my thanks to the people at Lionel Trains. That is very, very, very nice. Jeez. They desecrated the look. Now we'll go out to the collector's meets. This will bring the big bucks.
wait a while.
Believe me,
wait a couple of years.
I'm gonna. My heirs will still have it.
Right.
Now the next one is called. And thank you to all the folks at Lionel Trains. I appreciate that more than I can tell you. Where were the rest of the cars? No, it's a joke. Oh, the car, 4 or 5 cars. Yeah, the sleeping car, the dining car. That's a joke.
Next year we'll.
Yeah, that's a joke, please. Christmas layouts, what people do at Christmas time.
Well, obviously...
I've got the videotape coming.
Okay. Toy trains and Christmas have become synonymous over the years. This is a layout. This is a G-scale layout designed by Elaine Sillitz that has been installed in the Hancock Center in Chicago. There's also scenes from the Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn, Michigan, and scenes from Dick Coon's car rail layout.
Which we saw earlier with the classic trains,
which was
right?
a different Christmas layout.
Those are absolutely beautiful. By the way, you make all these videos, don't you? You and your team.
That's right.
And there's a brochure available. It's kind of a little catalog which shows all the various products that you have, your books and your videos. And the 800 number is 1-800-TRAIN-47, TRAIN-47. And there's no obligation, but you'll send the brochure if people want.
We'll send the brochure.
And now the last one are the darn things that we all had. Did you have the accessories too, like the cattle car and the milk car?
I had those.
They had cars, folks, where cows would run around. I remember going in and out of the box car, and a guy would deliver milk cans on a platform, and a bridge would go up and down. And here are some that Tom and his crew have captured on videotape and to tell us what we're seeing. Oh, yeah.
This is an American Flyer. This is a mixture of Lionel and American Flyer. They all worked pretty well. The milk car was a little erratic.
Yeah.
But they did amazing things.
It was unbelievable for its time. This is what, 50s technology. Oh, this was great fun, the magnetic crane.
Right.
My brother and I used to load the car, unload the car for hours. You'd go hours on end, but the milk cans always, the barrel loader, oh, and then the sound of the motor.
They all had buzzes. These evoke incredible memories in people. When they see it, they, you know, everyone's got a train story.
when you think of the imagination of the design engineers that went into this stuff, huh? It's remarkable what they did with vibrate. Look at here, the horsies, yeah.
And the controls.
Yeah, look at these guys. They're on speed, you know. Yeah, they're the cops. The water tower, that's good.
The gateman. Bang.
But with little motors and vibrating mechanisms, they brought model railroading, toy train railroading to life. In fact, one of the reasons I stayed with toy trains as opposed to scale models was I like this kind of, oh, look at this.
That's the rocket launcher.
Yeah.
Blast off. He happened to be a rocket scientist, by the way, who built that layout.
Is that right? Anyway, listen, I thank you for coming in and doing this with us tonight. It brings back memories, I hope, for the crowd back here. And no, they don't have them where you drop the pellet in the smokestack anymore, do they?
No, that's true. They have liquid now.
All right. Happy Christmas from Tom McComas and TM Books and Videos at 1-800-TRAIN, TRIAIN 47. And thanks to the people at Lionel for the wonderful toy, which my granddaughter will treasure under her Christmas tree this year. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
We'll be right
Christmas.
back after these messages. Merry Christmas, Tom. Tomorrow night, Norm Macdonald is here from Saturday Night Live, and Howie Long, the sportscaster, and also you on the toll-free telling us about what's going to be different at your house for Christmas of 1995. My thanks to Tom McComas for joining us tonight and bringing along the videos of the remarkable electric train layouts. Aren't they gorgeous?
Magnificent.
Man, I'll tell you, you think that you're seeing something as it exists in reality till you see that damn third track down the middle that always bugged us. Join me now with Elliot Forrest on the Late Late Radio Show at 800-890-9990. Back tomorrow night, same time, same station.